How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Strictly Nintendo, where I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to make some bold predictions, and we're going to see how accurate I am on these. The first set of predictions I'm going to make, we're going to find out how accurate I am on December 3rd, because I'm going to go down the nomination list for the Game Awards 2015 and tell you who I think will win and why, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Top of the list is Game of the Year. I'm giving that to Metal Gear Solid 5. Why? It's a great game. It's got great content, great storyline. It bridges the gap in the series. It fills in a lot more. It's got some dark subject matter. It continues to define tactical espionage. It's got the violence. It's got the military aspect. It's got the RPG aspect. It's got the stealth aspect. It's got the goofy kind of satirical things of like the comic booky feel of things. It's just all around a great game. Plus, Metal Gear is an important series, and anybody who remembers everything back to the NES of the original Metal Gear, um, it's just an important series, and I think it deserves the limelight, especially um, Kojima. I think he deserves the recognition, and I hope that if it does win, if I am right, I hope that they disavow any knowledge of Konami's involvement with the game. Best shooter, that's a tough one for me. It's a toss-up between Splatoon and Star Wars Battlefront, but I think Star Wars Battlefront will win slightly because of how big Star Wars is and with the new movie coming out. I think that might give it the little extra edge to win there. Could go either way, but as much as I hate to say it, I'm saying Star Wars will win that. Best family game, hands down, Super Mario Maker is going to win that, period. The new families that are gaming, and gaming families, that whatever you want to say it is, those parents are going to be in the late 20s to late 30s. Those are going to be the people who grew up on the NES, SNES. They're going to want to introduce their kids into gaming. They're going to want to do it with something that they can play together, and this is something you can play together. This is something that you're sharing a part of your childhood with your child and introducing your kid to gaming, and then you're inspiring and encouraging creativity by making your own levels. Come on. If anything else besides Super Mario Maker wins that, I'll be really, really surprised. Best multiplayer, I'm giving that to Splatoon, hands down. Um, the nominees just can't stack up. Call of Duty, in my opinion, is overdone. Destiny was overhyped. Halo's fizzled out and it's just not as significant as it once was in Rocket League. No disrespect to the developers, but I don't even know why it's nominated. It's cool, but it can't hold its own against Splatoon. Splatoon is just too important. It's too big. It's too much of a surprise. Um, Developer of the Year, Kojima Productions. Why? Because of how much he's given to this industry, how important he is to this industry, the great things that he's provided and created, and to find out all the crap that he's had to deal with Konami. He deserves the recognition. He deserves the respect to be uplifted and celebrated. Um, in this time, Nintendo won it last year. We can pass on the torch to somebody who does deserve it, and Kojima's the only other, in my opinion, the only other nominee that actually deserves it. So I think that it's just important to give him credit where credit is due and lift him up during this time. And last but not least, best mobile handheld game, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate's going to win that because the competition just can't stack up, period. So that's my predictions. We will see on December 3rd how accurate I was. Now some other Nintendo-related predictions I'm going to make is one with as big as Splatoon has been, and some of the things that we've seen with Nintendo, Bayonetta, Devil's Third, bringing over Fatal Frame, getting important indie titles like Slender Man, unique indie titles like Octodad, which are big on multi-platforms, getting other indie titles like Shovel Knight, Mutant Mud, um, games, just really kind of pushing the envelope with games kind of like Fast Racing Neo, The success of Nintendo titles, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, we just found out, was over a million. It's like 1.12 million. Um, and I know that VG charts isn't 100% accurate, but in my research, they're pretty close, and it's like they have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze at 1.17, so they're only like 50,000 off. And that's really not that bad. And the only time I hear that they're quote unquote over tracking is when it seems like there's a beef, and like people that didn't want Bayonetta to perform well on the Wii U, and Operation Platinum wanting Bayonetta to go 1 million, and VG Charts has it at 800,000 or maybe a little more, which I think is completely reasonable. I think it's probably pretty darn accurate. And my dad's always, I grew up with my dad having sayings like, in everything you do, shoot for the moon. If you get halfway there, you still went a long way. You know, um, I think, um, do I think that Bayonetta could have reached a million? Yes. Do I think it should have reached a million? Yes. Do I still think it can? Probably not. But the fact that, it's gotten so close, I think bodes well. And I think that that gives Nintendo hope to see that, these types of, risky investments will pay off. And that taking a risk on new IP and doing something fresh and something completely different, like taking something, a formula like to come out with new IP like Splatoon that's not only new IP but is online multiplayer focused and have it become so huge. I think that that's a wake up call to Nintendo. I think we're going to see some more bold ideas from Nintendo here, and then going into the NX, especially with where we're seeing where they're starting to give us a glimpse of how they're expanding with handheld, console, mobile, online, with the Super Mario Maker website, and how you're going to be able to also, furthermore, they're going into the system where you can buy games online with log in with your ID, buy a game online, and then when you get home, it's downloaded to your console already. That's pretty cool. So I think we're gonna see some really cool, unique developments with Nintendo here in the near future. I think we'll see a Splatoon 2 within the first year of the NX, if not holiday season of the NX. Um, I think, and before I get into the NX prediction, Linkle will be a playable character in the new Zelda. I think that at the beginning of the game, you're going to be able to choose whether you want to play as Link or Linkle, and it makes way too much sense. And I think that they're really going to focus on, obviously, with the 30-year anniversary of Zelda, they're going to really focus on that. We've got a lot of great games coming out for the Wii U, like Star Fox Zero, Shin Megami Tensei X, Fire Emblem, Pikmin 4, and then leading on into Zelda Wii U. That's going to be the last hurrah for the Wii U. Dev kits, software dev kits have already supposedly gone out for the NX. AMD, if we're believing that that hardware that they've talked about is the NX, said that that's going to be ready for production in summer of 2016, which means that the hardware dev kits, the final dev kits, will go out, that fall, so that when, here's my prediction, the NX launches September of 2017, it will launch with something, whether it's the new Zelda ported over and or whatever Retro's working on, and then have third-party titles ready as well, leading up to holiday of 2017, where Splatoon 2 will drop, and then we'll see 3D Mario, Mario Kart, and all that stuff follow later. Those are my predictions. How right am I? I don't know. Why did I do this video? For the fun of it. But I'm limited to 10 minutes, and we're coming up on that. So until we prove me right or wrong, take care.